Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Give It a Year with me, Jenny Q. This is my cyber podcast diary, and it is my space where I like to share art, I like to share writing, I like to share thoughts and reflections and commentary, and sometimes I like to use it as an actual diary and just kind of do like a bit of a brain dump of what's going on in my brain. And I like to take whatever that is, turn it around to be something positive, maybe interesting, but definitely something for anyone who chooses to come by and listen. Something to think about. Doesn't mean it has to be heavy. Just maybe something other than the chaos and darkness and busyness of the world and the social media and jobs and family and life. So right now, I have no title for this episode. That's how off the wing this episode is. So maybe maybe I'll call this episode No Name. Does that sound silly? A little bit silly. So I do have a goal. I can't do things without goals or parameters. So my goal is to keep this under 10 minutes. So, yeah, I'm gonna fade out this music because I like it, but I'm finding it distracting. So, here we go. Welcome to this week. I have to tell you that in addition to being here every week, I have other goals, but I also have other challenges. And the challenges I've shared a lot lately are my health challenges. My physical and my mental health stuff and that. And it's just interesting, how there's so many little things that can take you out, especially as you get older in this day and age. And please forgive me, this is a total brain dump. There's no filters today. And I'm actually laying on so pause, rewind, let me go back. As I have mentioned several times, I love doing my podcast, even though my podcast has no real structure, has no audience, and I don't think really has an appeal to anyone other than maybe my boyfriend, who's an amazing supporter and listens to my podcast every week. And I always come back to the fact that I created this podcast just for me, for accountability, to prove to myself that I can show up and I can do something. And then I get caught in this loop of, I need to make it something amazing and incredible and fantastic. And I'm wondering if that's true. I've been currently, through the month of May, been doing a book study with a mentor of mine, and the book study has been helping me sort of review and change a perspective on a few things. And as I lay in this bed doing this podcast, I have so many thoughts. My first thought is, it's very cool, this technology. Listen, I'm 52, and if you had told me when I was 10 years old I'd be laying in a bed making a recording that's going to go on the internet and be heard, or available to be heard by thousands of people across the world, I would have said, you're crazy. Excuse me. So the fact I can do this technology, I think that's one of the things I love about doing this every week, is that I can put it out there and it can be heard, and that's pretty cool. The other thing I think about, though, is that I do have a vision and a goal for my podcast. Not just my podcast, but my art and how I want to live my life. And, not that my life is bad, but like the direction I'd like to go. And the reality is I have to work because I have to pay bills. I have to earn money because that's just how our society works. And my job can be very physical and very mental as well, but it's definitely physical. I work with children. And part of my job is to help maintain the environment we work in, so cleaning. And sometimes when I get home, I am just so tired. And I promise this will make sense to you. So my book study that I'm doing has also incorporated a consideration of God into the equation. And so that's sort of been on my mind. And it makes me wonder, despite all of the technology that we have, despite all of the cool things we can do, and despite all, that was a little skip there, right? And despite all of the abilities to reach to people all across the world, is it good to have that be the dream, the big dream, or is it better to have a dream about doing something? What happened? Oh dear. I'm gonna see if I can just continue recording from where I was. Let's see if this works, because everything kind of cut out. Let me check. Alright, let's see if this is working better. Let's see. Alrighty. Fingers crossed that this is working now. Welcome to the cool technology where you can have a technical problem like a mic that doesn't work and fix it all while laying in bed. Like that's the thing that's really sort of got my brain spinning. Anyway, it took me a while to figure all that out, so a lot of time has actually passed since my mic did that weird scrapey thing. So, this is a brain dump. Brain dump. I guess what it is, it's funny. Between my book study and work and doing my podcast consistently, which I'm very proud of, I get myself caught thinking an awful lot in my brain. And I spend a lot of time doing that. And then I get sucked into scrolling. And then I realize how much time has passed. And I think where I am in my life journey is I have to embrace I'm getting older. And that means I'm going to have to do things a bit differently. And I may not reach all of my dreams, but maybe the big dreams are not the goal, but the goal is to live a life with intention and integrity. And I know I do that. I just feel like it's not enough. But it probably is. Anyway, I do want to make this a short one. So, I am going to finish up now and I'm going to ask you the question of what gets caught in your mind? What gets caught in your brain that you focus on? It's, you know what I mean? Like, I get focused on, I guess, life and its purpose. And am I doing it right? And I think that is probably the wrong question. The question probably should be, what is it I want to do? And really, that's all I need to worry about. As long as I do it with integrity. Anyway, if you hung on with me till the end of the episode this week, thank you very much. I hope that maybe something I said made you go, hey, I'm not the only one who has really random thoughts and things. I wanted to make sure I came and showed up this week. And despite being tired and recovering still from being tired and all sorts of other things that are going on, I'm here and I should be really proud of that. And you know what? I am. So remember, as I always say at the end of every episode, and let's bring the music back because I can do that this week. There it is. Remember, we all have a chance to make a difference by sharing our smile, sharing our love, which is our kindness, and sharing our laughter. So, I graciously thank you for all showing me your love and kindness by coming by and listening to my brain dump, my ramble, and my actual diary entry this week. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see what the week brings for next Tuesday. Take care.